Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome to the second channel. I have not uploaded like proper videos that aren't just like fun, silly little videos to this channel for quite some time, but I'm getting back into that. I'm doing a little bit of a shuffle up of all my videos and uploads, and I am now going to start uploading more videos like this and other sort of fun content and like less politically leaning content over on this channel because YouTube's going through some changes, and I just want to make sure that I'm safe and secure and that you will always have some of my content available to you to enjoy and that I am not going to lose my job. So today I am here with some fantastic, wonderful, super duper fun Am I the Asshole posts where we will be going in, having a dive and judging whether or not people are assholes, because it's always fun. I love to judge people, and so today we're going to judge people together. And if you do enjoy, please do not forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It would be really nice to get like, I don't know, 50k subscribers on this channel by the end of the year. Yeah, thank you. And let's get into it. All right. Am I the asshole for only taking care of my kid? I was with my ex-wife, Amy, for 4 years. We have an 18-month-old daughter, Wynn. We got divorced last year. Amy has a 6-year-old daughter, Ella, whose dad isn't involved. During our marriage, I took on the brunt of the money stuff because she was a stay-at-home mom our whole relationship. The whole time, I treated Ella no differently than I treated Wynn. I got her everything she needed and I cared for her as a parent should. Once we split up, we split 50-50 custody of Wynn. I pay insurance as well as her monthly payments by choice as I make more money than her. I want our daughter to have a comfortable life. My issue is my ex-wife is feeling some type of way because I no longer want to fund Ella's life. When I pick up Wynn, it's not a secret we go off and do fun stuff like the zoo or whatever else we can get into. Wynn also gets new clothes and shoes. Amy feels it's not fair that I won't maintain Ella's life anymore after 4 years of doing it, that I've abandoned my daughter. I feel she's no longer my responsibility. I know Amy cannot afford to give Ella the life we used to give her, but why should I have to do it? I talked to my mom about it and she thinks I'm being a massive asshole as she sees Ella as her granddaughter just as much as she sees Wynn. So am I the asshole? If so, I'll eat it and continue to help with Ella. Bro, in what world would you not be the asshole? Like, I don't understand how you can sit there and think about this and type that up and post it for judgment, thinking that it's gonna come back with anything other than, oh my god, you are such an asshole. Because, oh my god, you are such an asshole. This child is 6 years old. 6 years old. Ella is 6 years old. You have been in her life for 4 years. So since she was 2 years old, you are the only father she has ever known. The only father she has ever known. And then suddenly you separate from her mom and now you want nothing to do with her? You come in here and you look after her sister and you treat her sister to things, you buy her things, you go out with her, and you leave her behind like you never gave a shit about her. And you're sitting here being like, am I an asshole for like not giving her money or like taking her out or like caring about her at all? Yeah, bro, that's your daughter. Like your mother said, I view her as my granddaughter. Yeah, that's your daughter. The fact that you can be a person's father for 4 years, especially when they're that young, like 4 years out of 6. And you're out here being like, that's not my kid though. You're a terrible person. How do you not view her as your child? Someone in the comments asked like, okay, does she call you dad? And he was like, no, she doesn't call me dad. However, she does have a nickname for me. She calls him Hun because his ex, her mother, calls him Hun. So she copied that and calls him that, which I think is so cute. My little cousin did that. He used to call his granddad Honey, and I think it's the cutest thing in the entire world. But that's beside the point. She loves you, bro. You are her father. She loves you. And you're out here being like, she means nothing to me. Go to hell. How dare you? Oh my god. Am I the asshole? Yes. Yes, the biggest. Am I the asshole for putting my hand over my sister-in-law's camera at my own birthday dinner after I told her no filming? I'm gonna go with no, straight off the bat. I, 29 female, had a small birthday dinner last weekend with my husband, 31 male, sister-in-law, Lena, 27 female, mother-in-law, and 2 friends at a normal but nice place. Lena's an influencer. She films literally everything. Plates, forks, people breathing. 3 days before I wrote in the family chat, please don't film me. Food, room is fine, just not my face. She said, got you. We sit down and within like 10 minutes, her phone is up. I say quietly, please don't point it at me. She goes, you look great. It's just vibes. Husband backs me. She said no. Lena rolls her eyes, lowers it for maybe 2 minutes. Then the cake comes. Little sparkler, staff singing. Lena stands and points the camera right at my face like, birthday girl reveal! I put my hand over the lens and said, stop. I didn't grab the phone or touch her, just covered the camera for a second. She snaps that I ruined her shot and that this is her job. Mother-in-law says to let it go for one night. I said that it's my night, actually. It got awkward fast. Server was right there. I felt embarrassed. Husband tried to change the subject, but Lena kept muttering about how she had to scrap everything. I even paid for my own dessert. Long story. And we left pretty quick. Next morning, Lena texts me that I humiliated her and made her look unprofessional in front of everyone. Mother-in-law says I should have moved seats if I didn't want to be in frame. Husband says my boundary is fair, but maybe I made a scene by doing it during the song when eyes were already on me. She's posted me before without asking, and co-workers mentioned it. I've asked her to blur or remove it turns into drama, which is why I set the boundary in writing before dinner. Why I might be the asshole? Public place, I did physically block her shot, and yeah, it was during the song. I could have stood up and turned away or something, but also, I don't want to be online against my will, especially on my own birthday. I don't know. Am I the asshole? No, you are not the asshole. Your sister-in-law is absolutely the asshole, though. Oh my god, what the? I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with her, like, filming this person who's like, please do not film me. I don't want to be filmed. I don't want to be put online. Please do not film me. And she's like, I got you. I won't. And then starts filming her and just goes, you look great. It's just vibes. Filming her during the song and being like, birthday girl reveal. Oh my god. You reacted in such a calm way. Like, I think it's fine, you know, if people want to take photos of you or videos of you, like for your birthday song or whatever, to send you so you can have it privately to enjoy and to have this memory, then that's like a fine thing for people to be doing. If you've said it's okay. For someone to be filming you for content against your permission and then getting mad at you for getting upset with them? No, absolutely not. Absolute the disrespect. Once again, the main character syndrome. So many of these influencers are just like genuinely terrible people. Like the selfishness of that is wild. Being like, you ruined all my shot. You ruined my shot. I have to scrap all of this. Good. That was the point. That was the point. You can't be upset with someone for setting a boundary that you've already agreed to. You are not entitled to use people's faces. We've gotten to such a horrible point where people genuinely do just think they can upload anything to the internet. They think that like they can just film people and post it and it'll be fine. Like, especially if this person is an influencer to the point where like co-workers have seen her on TikTok and been like, why are you in this TikTok? Like, it's clearly reaching people. And sometimes people just don't want to be seen. They don't want to be on the internet. You don't have the like right to take that away from them. People get to consent. We've like gotten to such a place where people just don't care about consent and care just about views. Like, if you cannot think of anything to post other than your sister on her birthday and you singing happy birthday to her, you need to be more creative. Get better content. Your content cannot revolve around other people who do not want to be posted online. Make your content about yourself. Focus on yourself. Don't post people against their will. Don't post people without their consent. She did not make you did not make it into a big deal. This was not like making a scene. She made the scene by crossing a line that was already said and she knew was there. Like, if she's embarrassed, that's her own fault. She shouldn't have done it and then we wouldn't be in this situation. So she's completely at fault. You did nothing wrong. Am I the asshole for being concerned about the damage my son did to my car? I'm a mother of two, Vanessa, 25, and Brandon, 22. I'm not married to their father, but they both have a relationship with him. They went to visit him this past weekend for Father's Day and were set to get to my house on Monday. Brandon drove the two of them there and was supposed to drive back. The car he drives was mine originally. I paid it off and did not ask him to buy it from me on the condition that he is responsible with it. He was only paying for gas and maintenance. This was the first car I have ever been able to pay for upfront without taking out a loan, which carries sentimental value, so it is my car as far as I'm concerned. A few minutes after they left their dad's, I got a call from Vanessa saying that they'd gotten into an accident. I asked if my car was damaged and she told me it was totaled. Sorry. Pause for a second. You got a call from your daughter to be like, we gotten into an accident, and the first thing you ask is, how's the car? Not, how are you? How's your brother? How's the other person? What happened? Like, nothing else. You didn't want to know how she was, how he was. You didn't want to know any of that. You just wanted to know how the car was. I don't even need to read more. Yes, you're the asshole. I was immediately furious because Brandon knew how hard I worked for that car and I was very clear that I expected him to care for it. I asked Vanessa to put her brother on the phone. Instead, their father came on and explained they were in the emergency room and that our son was receiving treatment. Oh my God. I am obsessed. Sorry. You get a call from your kid who's like, we've been in a car accident. And your first thought is, how's the car? It's totaled. I'm furious. Your brother was meant to look after that. Put him on the phone. Still, entering your head has not been like, oh shit, are you okay? That's still not even been a thought. You haven't felt worry, anything. The only thing you've thought about is the state of your car. My ex then started to berate me for being more concerned about the property than about the kids. Fair. Yep. Correct response. And for getting angry at our son without knowing the situation. But in my defense, I hadn't realized that he was injured. Not a defense. Not a defense. You didn't ask. That wasn't even a thought in your mind. In my defense, I didn't know he was injured. That's because you didn't ask. That's because you got a call that said we've been in an accident and your first thought was how's the car, not how's my children. That's why you didn't know. To be clear, Brandon will be fine and the other driver was completely unharmed, but they are still furious with me. I had assumed if his injuries were serious that it would have been the first thing they told me, but that isn't a good enough explanation for them. It's been a few days now and both kids are with their father and won't come stay with me. Am I the asshole? I love being like, well, if they were injured, I just assumed it would have been the first thing they told to me, but like that's apparently not a good enough reason. She was probably getting to that, to be honest. Like, to be fair, she'd just been in a traumatic event, was on her way to the emergency room, and so she called you and was like, we've been in a car accident, probably expecting you to be like, oh my God, are you okay? But instead was met with, oh my God, is the car okay? Which obviously she panicked and was like, no, it's been totaled. And then pass it to her dad because she's been in a traumatic car crash and doesn't have the time to deal with this right now because she just found out her mother doesn't give a fuck about whether she and her brother are okay or not. Not an excuse. I don't care that they're okay now. You didn't know that. You didn't ask that. Update. First of all, to be very clear, I do not care about the car more than I care about my children. It was a moment of heightened emotion and I spoke before thinking. The fact the car was your first thought implies that it was more important. It was a moment of high emotion because you were worried about the car and not your kids. You heard the word, we've been in an accident, and thought of your car and not your kids. That's your defense for your heightened emotion? I can concede that it was insensitive. To be clear again, my son has a concussion and a few broken ribs, but we'll be fine. That's actually quite a big deal. Having broken ribs and a concussion sounds horrible. And that could have been so much worse. Like, that could have been so much worse. It's not a defense to be like, yeah, it's fine. He'll be fine. He only has a few broken ribs. Like, it's fine. The car is salvageable, and yes, it is insured, but that will not replace the sentimental value. But it's fine. Now, I called my children to apologize and explain that I would not have asked about the car first had I known they were in the ER. Vanessa admitted that she should have told me that first, but she was very stressed at the time. I was not able to get far into the conversation when their father came in with some choice words for me, and the call ended shortly after. I believe he may be manipulating the kids into not wanting to talk to me or come over, but they're adults, and that is their prerogative. My plan is to let it play out. Being like on the phone to your kids being like, hey, I wouldn't have cared about the car if you like told me that you were in the ER, to the point where your daughter's like, yeah, okay, admittedly, maybe I should have told you I was there. I'm sorry. And then you have the audacity to turn around and be like, their father is manipulating them into not coming to see me. What you just did there, this entire post, that is emotional manipulation. You straight up were telling your daughter being like, look, I do care about you more than a car, but like, it's kind of your fault. It's like kind of your fault that I didn't ask if you were okay because like you didn't tell me. So like, this is actually your fault. You should be feeling guilty right now. Like, I did nothing wrong and you did. And their father is the manipulator? Their dad's the one manipulating them? You're not even gonna like acknowledge the fact that straight up is emotional manipulation? Yeah, they're adults and they can make the call themselves. And so they're making the call to stay with their dad for a bit because they just got in a traumatic car accident where one of them got a concussion and broken ribs and their mum didn't even ask if they were okay. And clearly, seemingly, you haven't gone to check on them or visit them. Like, you didn't go to the ER. You haven't like, no, nothing. You're still, and even still focusing on the car being like, it's got insurance, but it's just like, it's so sentimental and I can't replace it. I understand, but that really is not the priority here. The fact that you're still talking about it like a priority is, yeah, I wouldn't blame your kids if they stay away for like permanently. This is how estrangement happens. And then, like, this is how estrangement happens. And then in like 6 months, we'll see her on TikTok being like, my kids are ungrateful little bastards. That's what's gonna happen. So watch out for a new a new doormat mom on TikTok. There's gonna be a new member in that fucking Facebook group. That's what's gonna happen. That Facebook group, Doormat Moms No More, it's about to get a member. It's gonna be this woman. Am I the asshole for being closer to my sons than my daughters? I, 38 male, have been married to my wife, 34 female, for 7 years. We have 4 kids together, aged 7, 6, 4, and 4. 6 and 4-year-old are boys, 7 and 4-year-old are girls. Me and my wife got into a pretty big argument recently, and I need unbiased opinions. I feel like I've always been closer to my sons rather than my daughters. You know, I'm a boy. I like boy stuff. So do they. I don't like princesses or dolls, so I've gravitated towards my sons because we have more in common. I'm gonna stop you right here, first off, right off the bat, and say that, like, when your kids are that young, they don't really particularly have such strong preferences for gendered things unless you are pushing those gendered roles onto them. Like, the 7 and 6-year-old maybe by this point have more developed preferences for what they like, but again, you may be playing a role in what those are. Your 4-year-olds, and anytime before they're this old, like, they are just kind of they're figuring out what they enjoy. If you are pushing boy things on your son and girl things on your daughter, that's your decision. You've chosen to put those things on your son and, like, share that with him and not give that to your daughter. Like, if you aren't interested in dolls and Barbies and makeup and whatever, like, firstly, get over it and just enjoy that with your daughter. If that's what she's into, she's a child, she wants to spend time with her dad. Just get over it and do it. Secondly, I'm sure your daughters would be, like, happy to do other stuff with you. Like, you don't have to give them such heavily gendered things. You can play other games. You can do other things. When I was very small, I was much closer with my dad than I was with my mom because my dad was a stay-at-home dad. And, like, most of the games we played were, like, make-believe. I was, like, a pirate. I was, like, an explorer. We, like, read stories. Like, it wasn't gendered play. It was just... let's make believe, let's just do stuff, let's just play games. Watch Bluey. Love Bluey. That reminds me a lot of my childhood. And I feel like it's a really good example of the fact that so much is not gendered. 95% of the games that they play, you would not consider being, like, things for girls. It's just games. It's just kids playing. If you are forcing gender boxes on them, that is a choice that you have made. You are making the effort to be closer with your son than with your daughters. Null argument. Go away. Anyways, the argument started after I put my kids to bed one night. I was laying down and she came into the room and confronted me about what my 7-year-old daughter had just told her. According to my wife, as she was tucking my daughter into bed, she started crying and asked, "Why doesn't daddy like me?" My wife told me that the kids notice how I treat them differently and I needed to stop acting like I hated my daughters. I told her I don't hate them, but we just don't have anything in common. She was pissed and started yelling at me about how immature I was being. I think it's stupid. Obviously, dads are going to be closer to their sons. That's just how the brain works. I tried explaining this to her and she didn't listen. She left and I think she went to sleep in my daughter's bed. I'm not sure. So am I the asshole? I just want my wife to understand what I'm saying and she's not listening to me. Because you're being an asshole and you are being immature. Of course your kids notice that you're treating them differently. Oh my god, your daughter crying and being like, "Why doesn't daddy like me?" And you're still like, "I do like her, but, like, we have nothing in common." You're a grown adult. That is a 7-year-old child. Like, get over it. Play games with your daughter. Spend time with your daughter. It's wild to me that you're like, our brains just, it's the way that we, what? No, it's not. No, it's not. There are so many dads who have very good relationships with their daughters and so many moms who have very good relationships with their sons. You can enjoy quality time with your kids. You don't have to have lots of things in common. You just have to, like, spend time with them and play games with them and, like, love them and show them, like, affection, read them stories, listen to them, talk to them. How do you mean, like, my wife just doesn't get it? She's not listening. There's nothing to listen to. You're being terrible. The wife actually found this post and left a very long comment with some more context, and I feel like we have to go through it because it's a journey. I am the wife. I found this post because when I went into our room to get my charger, he was asleep, but his laptop was still open with this Reddit thread. Idiot. I don't even have a Reddit account, so I needed to make this just so I can post here. First, I can assure you this is not fake as many of you here are suggesting. Here are a few other things my husband has done that conveniently left out of his post. My daughter started crying to him about if he didn't like her, not to me. She only came to me when he didn't care. My husband has taken our sons on multiple vacations without our daughters, using my money, might I add. My daughters were told that it was a boys' trip and no girls were allowed. He refused to do both of my girls' daddy-daughter dances the past Christmas because he thought it was stupid. I danced with them instead. He tried to make my girls clean up their brother's mess because it's a girl's job to clean. This goes on for a minute, but I just need a minute to, like, take a deep breath because I need to... How do I say this without my video getting demonetized for, like, violence? I need him to just go, like, sit down in the middle of a motorway. Just sit down and maybe take a nap. Just lie down, take a nap. By choice. He's just choosing to have a nap in the middle of the road. It's fine. I want to give everyone some more context. My husband works from home. By working from home, I mean he is completely unemployed. I'm the sole breadwinner for the family. I'm a doctor. I take sole responsibility in caring for the kids. He does literally nothing. I bring them to all their sporting events, school events, appointments, etc. Ever since we had the kids, he was detached from our daughters. He used the same excuse he said in here. He's a boy. He doesn't like girl stuff. It's pretty hard to not get along with small children. They quite literally will do anything. My 7-year-old would go on a run through the mud if it meant she got to play with her dad for 5 minutes. Exactly. This is what I'm fucking saying. They don't care. They will literally do anything. It is so hard to not get along with a small child. Like, they just love you and will do anything with you. Anything. It's heartbreaking to see how much she yearns for a relationship with him. This is not super important, but my daughter loves boy stuff. She likes to go fishing with her grandpa and playing video games with her brother, so the excuse of her not liking boy stuff is dumb. He just doesn't like his daughter. A lot of people are probably wondering why I married him in the first place and why I haven't divorced him yet. I was just about to ask that, actually, so thank you so much for addressing my next question. To answer the first question, I was young and stupid. I ignored red flags and have now ended up here. I've put off divorce for so long strictly because it is hard to get a divorce. I'm riddled with student loan debt, so I really couldn't afford it while taking care of 4 kids. This might have made me an asshole for not leaving him sooner, but I'm done now. This has sealed the deal for me. I've been crying all night thinking about my daughters. Not only them, but I know my sons are not being treated right either. My 6-year-old has noticed how his father treats his sisters, and it makes him so sad. He has offered his spot on vacation multiple times so that his sisters can go, and his dad says no. Why am I crying? Oh my god, why has that genuinely made me cry? Whoo, okay, I'm done with this. So when he wakes up tomorrow, he'll be told to leave my house that I own and will be hearing from my lawyer. I'm not putting up with him or any of his bullshit anymore. I love my kids more than life itself. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to take all 4 of them out on an ice cream date while he packs his things. No limit on how much they can buy. They deserve it. Thanks Reddit for showing him how stupid he is, and thank you for going to bat for me and my children. Have a good night. Why did that make me that... It's just like so like both lovely and heartbreaking to see at the same time, right? Like the love that these siblings obviously have for each other and the empathy that they have, like it's such a testament to, like, although this is obviously a horrible situation, but obviously their mother is instilling good values and they're around people who have good values, because I feel it's really easy, and we see a lot of, like, you know, if you were in a household where there are 2 boys and 2 girls and your dad is saying like, hey boys, you don't have to clean up after yourself, your sisters can do it because it's a girl's job to clean. I feel like it would be so easy for these boys to mirror that and to start being misogynistic very young and to start making their sisters do things for them. I feel like it's so easy for, like, you know, these young boys to learn that and to then reciprocate that and treat their sisters in a way like that, right? And I think this is what made me so emotional. We see a lot of that. I talk a lot about it, and like how so many young boys are being like influenced by these voices, and how many dads are teaching their like sons all these bad lessons. And so to see these like young boys in this household where that would so easily be something that could happen, and it's not like okay, obviously, but like it would make so much sense if they did it, and to see them still have that empathy and love for their sister to the point where they feel like really guilty and are like, I will give you my spot on holiday. I'm so upset that you get left behind and you deserve this and we are equal and I love you and I want you to be happy. It's just really nice to see. And I'm just really glad that, like, in this household where there is someone who is so horrible and like mean and cruel to his kids, they have been able to like hold on to like good values when they are so young, and like obviously their mothers tried really hard to maintain that in them, and I'm just really glad to see it. Yeah, it sucks that this relationship lasted for so long and that they have been in this house for as long as they have, and that it's taken to this point for it to finally end when it really should have a long time ago. But I am glad that it has. I am glad that she did leave and this was the breaking point. And I hope that these kids are happy and they know that they don't need this asshole of a man in their life. Like, I don't think it takes away the hurt of feeling unwanted by your father. I think that obviously that's always going to hurt and have an impact, but I can appreciate how much love there is within this family with just their mother. Yeah, ultimately, this dad at the beginning, asshole, biggest asshole, horrible person, horrible parent. I hope that he suffers. He's a he doesn't work, he's unemployed, now he doesn't have a house. Good. And I hope he doesn't see his kids anymore, because they deserve better than him. That made me really emotional, obviously. It's not hard to love your kids. It's not hard to spend time with them. It's not hard to have things in common with them. Making excuses to just not care about your kids is horrible. Am I the asshole for telling my sister I won't be her maid of honor because she didn't come to my wedding due to her dog dying? So I, 28 female, got married last year. It was a small but beautiful ceremony with our closest family and friends. My older sister, 32 female, and I have always had a complicated relationship. We're close, but she's also extremely emotional and kind of dramatic. She was supposed to be my maid of honor. 2 days before my wedding, her 14-year-old dog passed away unexpectedly. I was obviously sympathetic, but she called me sobbing, saying she couldn't emotionally handle coming to the ceremony because she was too devastated. I tried to talk her down, even offered to have someone bring her home early if it was too much, but she refused and didn't show up. It hurt. A lot. She missed one of the biggest days of my life, and I had no maid of honor. We didn't talk much after that. A few months ago, she got engaged and just last week asked me to be her maid of honor. I told her I couldn't. I said I still felt hurt she missed my wedding, and while I love her, I just couldn't pretend like everything was fine. She got extremely upset and said I was being cold and petty and that her dog was like her child. Our parents are pressuring me to just be the biggest person. Honestly, I don't know anymore. Am I the asshole for saying no? I think that a lot of empathy is lacking in this situation. I think that this is the thing, is that so many people don't value pets as highly as they should. As the sister said, that dog was like her child. 14-year-old dog. I don't have a kid, right? I do have a dog. He doesn't even live with me. He lives back in New Zealand. I spent 2 years with him before I moved away. And then now I've seen him twice since then. I see him once every 2 years. And I love him so much. I cannot put into words how much I love him. When I think about how much I love him, I literally want to cry. He is everything to me, and I barely even see him. If anything happened to him, it would crush me. I cannot imagine anything hurting more than anything happening to Biscuit. It would crush me. If something happened to him, if I can't even say the words, but if something happened to him 2 days before I was meant to go to a wedding, I also couldn't go. I understand being upset about it, and I understand that weddings are a big deal, but I also think that everyone has different emotional needs, and you do have to just kind of accept that. I think you have reason to be upset. You're allowed to be disappointed. You're allowed to feel hurt that your sister wasn't there, but I think you can feel that while also being understanding. You are absolutely allowed to be upset your sister wasn't there while also being I understand why she wasn't there, and she's probably sad too. I'm so sure that your sister is also sad that she missed your wedding. She wanted to be there and just could not be there. And I think that you have to realize that as well. It's upsetting, but sometimes shit happens. And I think that taking it out now and being I can't be your maid of honor because you hurt my feelings by not being mine, that's so petty. That's so petty. She wanted to be your maid of honor. She wanted that. She is also upset that that's not something that she had. So she wanted you to have this because she missed it out with you. And she wanted that. And now you're being it really hurt my feelings that you were really upset for my wedding so that you couldn't go. You're allowed to be upset, but the fact that you're punishing her over something that was outside of her control, you're punishing her for experiencing emotions in the way that she experienced her emotions. And that's not fair. I think what you need here is some more empathy and to understand where she's coming from. And I just don't think it's kind of you to punish your sister over this. She loves you. She wants you there. And the fact that you're yeah, but you weren't there for me. So I don't want to be there for you. Grow up, man. Understand where she's coming from and move past it. Be the bigger person. She did not do it deliberately to hurt you. You are doing this deliberately to hurt her. She did not do anything to hurt you. You were doing something to hurt her, right? You may have been hurt, but that wasn't the intention. The intention for you right now is you want to hurt her. That's not okay. You're allowed to turn down being maid of honor if it's something that you don't have the time for. Being maid of honor requires a lot of stuff, right? You have to plan stuff and be there for a bunch of events and whatever. That comes with it. If you aren't ready for that responsibility, you don't have the time for it, then fine. You can have a conversation and be I just don't have the capacity for that right now. But if you're turning it down specifically to hurt her because she couldn't come to your wedding, then you are being the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my best friend I understood why his fiance is so disappointed that he proposed to her at the gym? I, 27 female, was excited when my best friend, 27 male, told me he had proposed to his girlfriend, 29 female. He said he had the proposal on video. I was so confused when the video started out in a women's gym. When I saw his girlfriend on an exercise machine in the video, I had a bad feeling. She looked so shocked, and she said yes. She only looked happy for 2 minutes, and the rest of the time she gave an insincere smile. My best friend expressed frustration that his fiance had confessed she wasn't happy with the proposal after he asked her why she looked so sad. He was venting to me and asked me how I feel if a guy proposed to me while I was at the gym. I guess he really expected me to agree with him, but I said I would hate it. I said I don't want to be proposed to when I'm sweaty and stinky at the gym. I basically explained to him that I understood why she was disappointed. My best friend called me shallow and a bad friend. Am I the asshole? I mean, he asked for your opinion, and also you're correct. What a move. What a thing to do. I cannot imagine a worse place to propose to someone than at the gym while she's on an exercise machine. Your girlfriend is on an exercise machine and you're like, you know what? This is the perfect time to propose. So you come around and propose to her while she's like running like on a treadmill, on an elliptical, like doing weights. Like that's when you're deciding what inspired you to do that. Like the only way I can think of that being like a valid place to propose to someone is if it's like something that is very meaningful to you both. Like, is this how you met? Is this where you met? Like, I feel like maybe if I had some context, it would be slightly better. Like if it's where you met her, then like it's got some bonus points to it, I guess. If it's like something that you like do together all the time and it's like your thing, maybe you've had some like milestone moments happen in the gym somehow. But just like even still, maybe wait until like after she's finished and like dressed and showered. I don't know. I would be so confused if I was proposed to in the gym. In general, though, I don't like public proposals. And there's usually other people in the gym. And I feel like if other people were in the gym seeing that, they'd be like, what is happening right now? Did he just propose in the gym? Everyone's like shaking their heads like, bro, that was a choice. It was definitely a choice. I don't think it's shallow to be like, I don't think that was the best place to propose, because she's right. It's not the best place to propose. I think that pretty much anywhere else is a better place to propose. But I mean, she said yes. It's still going forwards. But I think some more thought should have gone into the decision of where the proposal happened, because I don't know what goes through your brain to make you think that proposing at the gym is a good idea. And you're not an asshole for telling him that you understand why she's upset, because he did ask. He did ask. If he didn't want the answer, he shouldn't have asked. If you couldn't handle I get it, then don't ask. Don't ask. If you aren't prepared for every answer, don't ask the question. And with that, I think that I'm going to end this video here. I hope that you did enjoy. Please let me know your thoughts on some of these assholes/not assholes. I would love to hear your thoughts. A massive thank you to my Kiwi Cat patron, Aurora, Sienna, Alicia, Marielle, Bree, Bay the Trucker, Chastity, Beckett, Prismatic Petey, Sushi, It's Crigolo, Phil the Duck, River, Queen Glimmer, Ella, Mr. Noodle, Radsack, Knitting Menace, Samuel, Chris, Ellie, Alexis, and Bobby. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. When you close your eyes.